Welcome back to Writing Done Right. Well, today we're going to talk about barcodes on the back of the book, where you can get your barcodes, and maybe just a little bit about where and how to affix them to a book. But primarily we're going to be talking about where can you get your barcodes and what type of barcode do you need. So welcome back to Writing Done Right. I'm Tom Morosky. I'm an author and a technology consultant, and on this channel we will teach you all of the ins and outs that you need to produce your book in a very high professional quality so you can get it out to all of your distribution partners. And today we're going to talk about barcodes. What are they? Now, I have here a book in front of me. This is my book, I Am Not Amused. It's the white one back there in the center. And on the back here, I have some barcodes. And what we're going to do is zoom in on these, but we'll actually go ahead and, I don't think that's going to focus or not. There we are. We'll go ahead and show some of these more on the screen so you can get a better look at what we're doing here. But if you happen to have a book nearby, have a look at it. And what you'll see on the back with the barcodes is you actually have two separate distinct barcodes. One of these is the ISBN barcode, and the other one is an EIN5 barcode. When you are producing your book for your back cover, you want to have both of these. If you do not have the EIN5, most retail establishments would not sell your book. Now, if you are just using a free barcode attached to your book from, for example, KDP platform, you just upload your book, you have a KDP platform, or if you just give an ISBN and you don't affix a barcode most other places, you're going to get a generic 9,000. It's like a 90,000 barcode, 90000, which basically says, hey, no price affixed. You can't have that and have a good, reputable book that's going to be sold by a retail establishment. And you do want to make sure you have that EIN5 now down there. Now, when you purchase your ISBN here in the United States, you have the option to also buy barcodes, which will get you this EIN5. These usually cost around $20 or so, and you don't want to do that. There are dozens of places you can get a barcode for free online that we are going to look at. Now, many of these will only give you the ISBN number, the 13 barcode number. Most of them will not give you the EIN5, although there are a couple that will. And we're going to evaluate a few different online barcode generators. So I actually found 3 of them that will give you the EIN5 and the standard ISBN. And I'll tell you, though, the one that I use here. So the ones we're going to look at Tekkit. We're going to look at the online barcode generator from Terry Burton, which is the best independent free one. It's open source application. And we're going to look at Ingram Spark's cover template designer that we've looked at in the past. I think that is overall the best, but if you need a lot more flexibility in how the thing looks at, you want to look at Terry Burton's online barcode generator. And there is the Tekkit one, which is better if you just need a short, condensed barcode. And I think I might have another one we're going to look at as well. So we're going to look at these over on the computer. We're going to show you the individual components of the barcode, how to use those guys, and what you actually need to do when you are creating your barcodes, and just a little bit about how you're going to get them into your cover design. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to jump on over to the computer for the rest. Okay, so here we are on the computer, and I did promise to show you guys the barcode, the parts in better than just focusing a camera on the screen. So here's where we have our ISBN number here for our book. So we are broken down into 2 separate barcodes. This first bigger one is actually the ISBN 13, which corresponds to this code up here. And then the second one of these is the EIN5. This is the guy that contains the price information. In fact, if you find one book in a bookstore and you flip it over, you can see the price of it. Now, most books hopefully will give you a price, and I'm going to recommend if you're designing your covers, make sure you have the price listed there because that really does help your readers out. But if they don't have it, you can actually read it. 5 is actually just a price digit code, so the 5 means it's US dollars. And so then it will read out the digit without the decimal as the last 2. So this is a $15.99 book. So you can see I have that over there. Now, your ISBN will generally also have the digits down here at the very bottom, so the 978. Now, the 978 is the, I believe this is the ISBN 13 code. I think this can also now be a 979 if I remember, but don't quote me on that. The 1 is the country code indicating that this ISBN number comes from the United States. The next grouping of digits is anywhere from 5 up to, this is, 7 digits. This will actually is linked to the publishing company. So you can actually look up a publisher based on this number. And then the last 2 digits are checksums. So the checksums will add up to a certain algorithm number that's quite complicated mathematic formula to determine if this is a valid ISBN number. And then you have your barcode, of course, is your price. Now, the other thing you'll see is if you do not provide your own barcode and you're doing like a KDP, is you're going to see 90000. And you'll still have the code here, but it indicates that there's no pricing data with the book. All right, so that's kind of, I wanted to show you what that looks like. Now, this cover, of course, is from the Ingram Spark generator. I did have another one here with a more of a black cover, which you can kind of see the boundaries of the ISBN a little bit better over here. Okay, so we are going to have a look now at 3 different barcode generators that are free to use online. Now, I'm going to just give you a couple of them here. I always use the last one, which is Ingram Spark's cover generator, even if I'm not necessarily using their template, because their barcodes are the best that I've found. Now, the first one here is from Tekkit, so barcode.tekkit.com. If you have a look at the article that is linked below this video at writingdoneright.net, I will have all of these 3 websites linked and just a little bit about information about what you're looking for, at least at the time of doing the video here. So over here, you can actually generate a variety of things, 2D codes, healthcare codes, just a whole variety of things, including your QRs and things like that. So if you happen to need like a QR code, these are excellent if you're going out and doing a book show. Then you can actually generate a QR code directly to an Amazon version, and you can print this code out right on your booth at your book convention, and then someone can come out with their smartphone, click on this, and it'll load up your Amazon shopping page. I mean, totally awesome stuff. So you can use this. I'd probably use this site for something like that. But what we want to go down and find is ISBN codes. And then you'll see ISBN 13 is just a generic ISBN. You want the 13 plus 5. So this gives you the ISBN plus the EIN 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy my ISBN with my code. This is from my I Am Not Amused book. So if you click over here, now the downside I found to this site is, while there are some customized options over here, I found that if you adjust any of these things, you typically don't get real good results. I have actually moved down. Now, if you see the various options we have, in order the way you download them, SVG is going to be your best download, although a lot of image applications do not know how to manage these. I'm running Linux, and Linux can manage SVGs just fine through GIMP. The reason you want to use this is it's a scalable, extraordinarily high resolution item. If that's not a good option, use PNG, because PNGs have the cleanest overall code. Next, I would go with a GIF, because they do not support any of the crazy colorations that you might get. And then the last, you only use the JPG file if you absolutely have to. So use the SVG if you can. That's really the only setting I'm going to change here, because while there's other settings for heights and widths and things like that, they actually break the thing more than anything. So over here, I've input my code here, and now I can push my download button, and it's going to give us this. I'm not sure if my image viewer can view the SVG or not. Okay, so my image viewer can. All right, so here we have an SVG. Now you'll notice it's very small. The reason you actually want these is if you open these up inside of GIMP, then what happens is you will have the option as to various sizes. Remember, this is for a book cover. A printed cover, you want a 300 DPI resolution. So when you change that to 300, it's going to automatically scale the height and the width, and you're going to get a high resolution barcode. This can be used. Now, this one is a good functional barcode. I don't like how short it is, but if I were under a short constraint on size, this was actually the best of the barcodes to use. Even my favorite Ingram Spark generator, the barcode is a little bit higher. You need to have a little bit room on your cover for it. But if your cover is kind of condensed in size, this might actually be the best way that you go for your ISBN number. All right. So, and by the way, we didn't mention ISBN numbers. You need to buy that or get it in your country. Some countries offer them for free with a registration with the government. Here in the United States, you need to buy them through my identifiers at Boker. We're not going to cover that in this video. Just in case you are wondering, though, well, can you get a free ISBN? Generally, no. This is just to create the barcodes that go on your cover. All right. Now, the next one that I really like, this one has overkill on options. So if you do need to do a lot of different customizations on options and stuff like that, you might want to consider using this one. This is terryburton.co.uk/barcode-writer/generator. So you can look at the various different codes. You can see now, since this is under EIN 13 under point of sale, since it is a point of sale code, it is actually going to give you the ISBN plus the EIN 5, because that's exactly what the EIN 5 is for. If you need just an EIN, I think you can get it down here. Maybe not, but there's an EIN 3. We'd be looking for an EIN 5. So there you go. So partial symbols, EIN 5. So if you had a ISBN barcode from somewhere else that didn't have an EIN 5, you can actually come over here, type in your EIN 5. So I'll type in 51599. Hit make barcode, and it will give me my EIN 5 number that I need. So this is consistent with the barcode that I have. But since we're just working on generating the whole thing, just do your whole EIN 13. So I'll go ahead and paste in my code. So notice we're not using any spaces, any dashes. Now these options, you can come down here and look at the reference of options. There are bunches of options. The include text will either show or hide any text. Guard white space will give you an extra boundary around the white spaces for easier manipulation. And then there's just so many other options. You can actually use custom fonts and things like that. You can adjust your scales, things like this. I'll go ahead and make my barcode, and let's see. Oh, there's an error while it's processing. Oh, that's right. I think for this one, we do have to have a space between the two. I think that's what I need to do. Yep, there we go. I forgot you had to have a space between the two on this one. So here we have a nice barcode, very nice in height. We have all of our codes down here, nice high size. I don't like this little caret here, but I could get rid of that pretty easy. But it is a fully compliant barcode. You can download an EPS, PNG, or JPEG. Now in order here, EPS is probably your best file. You're going to have to, if you're not using free software like I use, you're going to want to use Illustrator to open this up. I'm not sure if Photoshop handles them directly or not. It may not. It depends on which versions you're using. If EPS is going to be too difficult to work with, go with the PNG. If PNG is a problem, use the JPEG last. Again, opening this guy up, you can see what it is. Now, what you notice immediately here is that this file size is actually fairly small. So this one here is not going to be the most recommended. It may not actually print well. Let me go ahead and give you an example of what we're doing. So we're going to copy the image, and I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to paste this in as a new layer. And you can see the size of this barcode compared to the one we have. So if I were to try and scale this layer up a little bit, let's just go ahead and make let's double the height of it. And see, it's going to get a little bit grainy when I increase it. It's actually not too bad. So it's actually a little bit clearer than the other one I have there, but that's what you're going to encounter. But if you were to use the other one, let's delete that layer. Let's go back to our free generator. Let's go ahead and grab the EPS. And so this guy is going to open with a variety of things. Let's just go ahead and save that file. Go back into my downloads and drop this into GIMP here. Once again, we can select the resolution. Setting our resolution. Now we can see it's a massive file size, very clear. Now I actually have to scale it down. And anytime you're scaling an image down, it is crystal clear. Very, very good. So this guy's going to be completely compliant to use with anything without having any issues. Comparing it to my other code here, I'd have to get the size about right, but you can see it's going to be a very similar code that we have. All right. Go ahead and line this up over here. You can kind of see they are the same codes. They are the same bars. So that's what we get. All right, let's go ahead and delete that layer. And the last one that we're going to use is Ingram Spark. This is absolutely my favorite. What they do is they give you the code if you request it directly in your template. So we start out by giving it your, whoa, not that. I need to go ahead and grab my code again. Need to give it our ISBN. So there's my ISBN for this. All right, and then you need to give it the trim size, because what we're actually doing here is we're actually creating a full cover template generator. You can decide what file type you want to use between the different file types. I usually use a PDF. If you're using InDesign, you can use the InDesign for a variety of different tools, CC, CS3. And PDF. Like I said, I usually use the PDF. And then what they do is they email the template to you. Now, if you include the price, so I'm going to include the prices as $15.99 and include price in barcode. Those are the steps that you need to do under the optional information, and then it will generate the code for you. I already have generated that. That's what this one looks like. I think this is actually for a different book, but this is the one I had on this computer. So this is what they give you. They give you the template. We have a barcode. The barcode, in theory, can go anywhere on the back unless there's a reason not to. You generally are going to want to put it in the lower right-hand corner of the back cover. So what I do from here is I just go ahead and zoom in here, and I'm going to come down and just make my changes here. Just highlighting the whole barcode. You zoom in, make sure we're not highlighting any of that pink color there. Yes, I like pink. I just don't want it on the back of your book. That'd be a little unprofessional. Okay, so now we're going to copy the layer and paste it as a new layer up here. So you can see we pasted that as a new layer. And now that's exactly what we need. Now, the reason I like this one the most is I really like how the fonting they do. It just looks so much better, so much more professional, because in reality, Ingram Spark is the company that prints most books in the world. So there's what we can do. And if you do need to make it a little bit bigger, you can make it a little bit bigger. It is nice and crystal clear. Let's just go ahead and do that. By the way, I have a hotkey set to do scale layering that quickly because it's something I use all the time. So that's the power of GIMP, is you can go ahead and scale your, set your hotkeys customized. You can see that one's a little bit clearer than the other one I had there. It is actually a different barcode, as you'll notice, but you can see here, publisher's the same. It's just the checksums have changed. All right, and this book is $5.99, not $15.99. All right, so there is all about generating your barcodes. Once again, I like the Ingram Spark. You do not need an account with Ingram Spark to use this. If you need a lot more options, definitely go with Terry Burton's generator as well. And if you need something that's much shorter, the Barcode at .tekkit is your best option. So have a look at the article linked in the description down below if you want to find the direct links to these. I'll have those on the website at WritingDoneRight.net. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Give me a thumbs up and let me know if this was helpful to you in designing your book. And I hope that, as usual, we have taught you how to get your writing done right.